going on, guys? Well, my name is Mickey, and welcome to Hindsight is 2020. Today I'm going to. So first time I'm doing a live stream version. But I'm gonna try it out, see how it works. Um, so it's a new week tennis. This week it's WTA 1000. Uh, they are going to be in Indian Wells. I love this part of the year because it is the North American swing. So if I want to stay up later and watch matches, I have the ability to. Um, so we're not, just staying in, uh, European times and everything. So that's exciting. Anyways, not here to waste anyone's time. I am going to pretty much go over all the 12 matches, I believe, that we have on the card today. And yeah, I'm just going to go over them on live stream and we're going to pretty much just talk it out here. First match we're going to start off with is, let's see here, Angelique Kerber. She's taking on Petra Martic, the Croatian. Angelique Kerber, she's German, 38, I'm sorry, 36. She's a lefty, and she just came back from a year and a half maternity break. She has lost six straight matches, since since coming back from her maternity leave. She's coming off a 6-1, 6-3 loss to Brunzetti and WTA Linz in the indoor hard court. Funny thing about this match, though, is that she has been a semifinalist here in Indian Wells in 2012 and 2013. She also finished as a runner-up in 2019, and in 2022, she was able to finish in the fourth round. Now, Petra, on the other hand, she also has a great deal of experience here. Last year, I mean, she's played here before, I believe twice, 2018, 2022. She lost last year to Gracheva, which, I mean, seeing as Gracheva's lost 9 matches in a row right now, I don't think that that's a good loss for you to have on your record. Both of these ladies have played each other twice already. Excuse me, 3 times. And Kerber actually came out with the victory the last time they played. So I think that, generally speaking, I would recommend, not wagering on first round matches because it's, even though it's a 1000, it's still good to gauge player motivation, um, seeing how they like the surface and things of that nature. But for starters here, I I wouldn't recommend wagering on this match, but I'm gonna go ahead and write the over uh, 21 on my short list for this match. Like Kerber plus 3.5, and also Kerber and the over 21 in the match. This number itself is hit in all 2 out of 3 matches that they played against each other, and in the one match that it did not hit, the first set went 7-5, and then it was a 6-2 second set. So you just got hooked there if you took that. But I mean, Petra, her matches have just gone over at what I believe her last 6 matches have gone over the match total. And also, Petra has failed to cover the game spread in 7 of her last WTA matches. And as someone who has, in 3 matches, beat her once and also taken a set off of her in the other matches she's played against her, I think that the 3.5 is a good play. Hope you just gotta hope that she pretty much wins a set, and or that she doesn't gas towards the end, because she still is coming back from a maternity leave. But I think that she's been able to get all of her practice matches in so far. So I think that Kerber plus 3.5, that's a pretty good lean, and I would also lean towards the over 21.5. Let's see here. Next match on the board. One more tidbit about Petra. So in her career on hard court, she is 14 and 14 against players who are left-handed, and in 20 of those 28 matches, she has gone over the 21 total. I just don't generally don't like fading lefties in that matchup because well, people who are right-handed have an issue hitting, um, or to people who are left-handed, and it really challenges how strong of a backhand that you have. Um, so yeah, let's see here. Next match is going to be Tatiana Maria, 36 years old from Germany. Love Tatiana. You know, she started off the year hot. She's already played in 7 tournaments. In the first 2 months of the season, she's won in the first round in 6 of them, but she's lost right after that. So 6 out of 7 tournaments, won her first round match, lost every single after that. She's her last 2 matches. What she was playing against Layla Fernandez. Layla was up, I believe, serving for the set, and then she came back and lost. And then I believe Layla got hurt in that match. And then after that, she had match point against Daria Seville in San Diego, and she let that match slip away. She ended up losing the second set tiebreaker, and ultimately just gassing out to Daria Seville and losing 6-2. It's a tough match because Maria is getting older and she's failed to win consecutive matches in 12 of her last 13 tournaments. But lucky for her, this is a first round match, um, and she's playing someone in Rooks who's been beaten in the first round in both Dubai and Doha. But she played pretty like tough players. She played Petra, in that match, I believe what she lost 6-4, 7-5. And then she played Bika, who's a big hitter. And she lost that match in 3 sets. So, so it hasn't been a bad season for her. She's made quarterfinals in Cluj, and also in Hobart. So she's been having an okay season. I think, it's time for her to, I don't know, pick up the intensity, so to speak. She won her first WTA title in Hamburg last year. Excuse me. Whew. But anyways, Tatiana, she leads 3-1. Last time they played, excuse me, was in 2015. This match is tough because it is, I believe, bless me. um, Roos is a short favorite in this match. Just a little bit confusing to me. Matches like this where someone who leads the head-to-head are an underdog. It's a little bit confusing to me. I mean, Roos has lost her last, I believe, 12 AT or WTA matches on hard court against opponents who are older than her. Um, I think a good play here would be for Tatiana to win the first set money line. Just because generally with Maria's matches, she generally comes out in the first set. She's going to come out blazing in the first set, or, she's just not going to win the match. And, granted, last time they played was almost 10 years ago in 2015, and they've played on clay every single time. You know, their last 3 of their 4 matches have gone over the total. So, and these courts I've been watching through qualifiers are extremely slow. The court just plays like clay. So that leads me to believe that, this match is going to go over. I'm going to go ahead and write that on my short list here. I like, I don't want to force anything, so I don't think I'm going to, play Maria per set, but that would be where I'm leaning. It's just a toss-up match, and with not seeing Ruth since she played in Dubai, and also I'm thinking, how is Maria going to respond after that first round loss, or not first round loss, but that loss in San Diego where she had match point. Um, so I guess that would be why I would be leaning towards uh, Maria in the first set, and this match ultimately going over in the end. One more thing here, I guess I could also check how Maria does against players who are left-handed in her career, because that's something that I have not necessarily looked into. Let's see here. Um, versus hand left. Frozen. Year and a half maternity break. She has lost 6 straight matches. She has lost 6 of her matches, 6 straight matches. She has lost 6 of her matches, 6 straight matches. She has lost 6 of her matches. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm back. I believe we are back. Right. So, um, yeah. So we're looking into how Tatiana does against left-handed players, because she is a left-handed player, or she's playing. She's going up against a left-handed player today. And let's see here, lefties surface hard. I mean, last year she's 6-1, 33-13 over her career. Don't really understand why she's a dog here. If I had to play this, I would definitely play Tatiana to win in the first round and to lose whoever she plays against in the second round. Let's see here. Moving on along. Let's see Tati. See, next match here we have a complicated one for sure. And Sarah Sabrina's Tormo playing Marie Buskova. I actually watched, I feel like I watched them play recently. The last time they played was in Guadalajara. It's definitely an interesting stylistic matchup because SST is a pusher and Marie plays defense predominantly. So it's definitely going to be a clash of styles for sure. And I'm just curious to see how this match is going to play out. Tormo leads the head-to-head 2-1. She beat her once on grass in 2018, and also uh, the first time they played in Guadalajara in 2021, right after COVID, and then recently in 2022. Uh, Marie has been having like an okay season. She's only won 4 matches in her first. I mean, she's won 4 matches in her first 6 tournaments of the season, but she's lost 3 of her last 4 matches. She beat Amanda Nisimova, I'm pretty sure, right before she got hurt, and Magdalena Freck before she started picking up steam and winning a lot of matches recently. Um, but she's been losing in the first or second round recently. I believe she's done that in 5 straight tournaments. And, she was coming off a really good, strong end to the season. So I'm sure a lot of people are really surprised that she's kind of tailed off to start the year. But I think Marie is a good player. She just struggles against players who have a speed advantage over her. And I don't think that SST has that today. Um, you know, Tormo went 0-4 in Australia in January. I mean, she lost to Alina Kornieva at the Australian Open. I mean, she just got her first win of the season in Abu Dhabi, and and that was her beating Linda Moskova in 3 sets. So it's been an interesting season. She's just coming off a right thumb injury. I don't think that she's actually played a match. Yeah, she hasn't played a match since that injury in Abu Dhabi. So I find that to be really interesting. And I know Marie's going to be really looking for a win here. Uh, this is just tough. I mean, I'd have to put you got to put Marie. You want to do like a money line parlay. I feel like she would definitely be in the parlay. Tormo's lost 6 of her last 7 WTA main draw matches. Um, you know, I just feel like Marie's going to be more motivated. Tormo's coming off that thumb injury, and you're playing tennis. I don't want to be, I don't want to be unsure about your thumb. Especially you kind of need that. So I would go with Marie. Spreads 3.5. So for what it's worth, the dog has covered the spread in all 3 of their matchups. So take it that what you will. But someone coming off a thumb injury, I don't think I could back her here. So I would probably have to say, uh, I'd have to say Marie. But one thing that I would end with cautionary tale is they are doubles partners, and I do not like wagering on matches with players who play doubles together because you don't know what's going to happen that day. And so, honestly, I would probably play the over here. It's a Tormo match. I mean, yeah, a little mishap there. A lot of technical difficulties. Now I'm gonna get this fixed for the later stream. Let's see here. Next match on the board, we have Rebecca Sramkova and Yafan Wang. Rebecca Sramkova, she's from Slovakia. She's 27 years old. Last time here, she played in qualifiers in 2017. Um, I've been watching her play through qualifiers this week. As a matter of fact, I've just been extremely confused by her matches. I thought she struggled. She played really well against Wickmeyer, but I know Wickmeyer is just recovering from an injury. So I expected her to play well in that match. I didn't expect her to struggle and to go to a 3rd set tiebreaker against Jessica Ponche. Um, that was really surprising to me. But all in all, she is going to make her Indian Wells debut here at the age of 27. This is probably her best ranking in about 6 years. She was about what middle 200s, and I think now she's about 125. She's been to a lot of quarterfinals, but I just she's very she obviously has the skills to play well, but there were just times where I just go back and forth on whether she is a WTA player or if she's going to still, still be at the ITF level and you know win those matches and get to the semifinals there. But when she makes a WTA main draw match, she will struggle against better competition. Uh, Person she's playing, Yafan Wang. She is from China. She just came back from a 9-month break. She was about what 700th in the world. She played her ass off the past year, and ended up winning 6 titles past 12 months, most of them on the ITF season. But I mean, you only play who's in front of you, and she beat the people that were in front of her. Recently, she went into the third round of the Australia Open. She beat Kirstea. She beat Emma Raducanu. She made the semifinal Hua Hin in Thailand, and also the quarterfinal in Austin. She recently just came off a loss to Yu Wan, uh, where she clearly was at a speed disadvantage, and that's one of the things that I'm concerned about with her today is that I know Shramkova has a speed advantage over her, but also I think that Yafan Wang is the more disciplined player. Oddly enough, the last time they played, Rebecca Shramkova leads the head-to-head 1-0. They met in 2016 during the grass season, and she beat Wang in 3 sets. So it's very possible for her to win. I mean, like if she won the match, I wouldn't be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe she won the match." But I just think Yafan Wang's going to bounce back um, from the poor match that she had. I would say it's tough, because one rule of thumb that I have is to not wager against players in the first round of qualifier matches because generally, I know Yafan Wang is coming in from San Diego, so I'm not sure how much time she's had on the courts. Rebecca has already played 2 qualifier matches. Even with the time she spent on court, I'm not necessarily even sure how comfortable she is with the court conditions. So we will have to wait and see on that. So don't really necessarily have anything that I think I'm comfortable playing here. I have a, I think this is another over. I know I keep saying overs, but the courts are so slow, and especially with these early matches, the first 4 or 6 of the day, like it's gonna be hot, like court's slow, so it's just gonna be. I wouldn't wager on this. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd probably go Wang. I think she's the more disciplined of the two, and in the end, she will make less mistakes. Um, Even though she is at a speed disadvantage, I think her maturity, her ability to make less errors than I think that Stramkova is going to make is what is going to allow her to win the match. Let's see here, next match we have an American, Katie Volley Nets. She's taking on Mira Andreeva. I've not seen Mira in a while. I believe the last time we saw Mira in the match is when she lost to, I believe she lost in Dubai. Yeah, she lost to Peyton Stearns first round Dubai in 3 sets. That was coming off her 3-set match against Craig at the Australian Open, where she lost 3 sets. Obviously, coming off her insane match where she was down 5-0 against Diane Paris and came back and won that match. Let's see here. Line for that is I don't think there's a line for this. Oh, I see it. Line for that is 1.3 and 3.4 for all my American friends. That is pretty much minus 300, um, plus 250. And it's an interesting match. I don't know why. I'm not particularly sold on Katie Volley Nets yet. But she has been playing a lot better this year. I mean, she's 12-5 on hard courts this year. She's only played on hard courts this year. Mira, on the other hand, she's 7-3. Again, you still got to remember that she's what 17 years old, so 16. Sorry. Um, so I'm always wary whenever you know putting large sums of money on a 16-year-old. Um, but this is tough because I'm curious how Katie's going to bounce back from the Danielle Collins match. Um, you know, she's been here Indian Wells 3 times, and every time she's lost in the first round. This is obviously going to be Mira's first time playing at Indian Wells, and I'm just curious how she's going to bounce back from her last, I would say, 3 matches. She's not necessarily looked great because this match I think is going to go 2 ways. Um, I think Mira's probably going to win in 3 sets again, kind of like her last 3 matches. 7 of Katie Vollinet's last 8 WTA matches have gone over the total line. So we go ahead and write that down on the short list. So, but I'd be nervous about that. Just solely because you know don't like wagering against players playing in their home country. But obviously, I think Mira's a better player. But she is 16 years old. I know Katie's going to be super motivated, especially how she lost that her previous match in Austin against Danielle Collins. Obviously, Mira's going to be extremely motivated. She's lost 2 matches in a row for the first time, I believe, in almost like 6 months. So, huge motivation factor for both players. Would not, in my opinion, wager on it. But if I had to pick a winner, if I was going to throw someone in a money line parlay, probably not this person just because it's just one of my systems to not wager against players who are playing in their home country. But I do think Mira will win the match. Would not bet on it though. Next match on the board, we have Mai Hontama and Shuai Zhang. First of all, I just want to say that it's really cool to see Shuai Zhang back on court again. It's been a really long time. I hadn't really seen her play. I think her first match, yeah, she played Pliskova. She played okay, and then she got fatigued. Pliskova was on a run during that time. Ion Thomas been playing pretty well. You know, she's won 8 of her last 10 matches. Been pretty much losing in the first round, but again, she's made it through qualifiers. She beat Sigmund in 3 sets. She beat Claire Liu in 3 sets. She almost lost that match. Tough match for her. She, last time she played Zhang in 2022, she lost 6-0, 6-3. So, you know, she's gonna have to stay on her toes because obviously she's lost her before, and that's kind of important. Last time Zhang played here, I'm sure she probably just gonna want to erase those memories because she ended up retiring to Peterson. I think that's when she had a panic attack in that match. I could be wrong. Um, but I think Myhan Thomas is playing really well right now. It's another one of those 1.3, 3.1 matchups. And those are generally where upsets happen. But I just don't see an upset here. Um, she might lose in the next round, but I think she's pretty much in form right now, and I just don't think that someone who only has one match under their belt past 6 months, even though she has beat her before, I don't think that she has the form right now to do that. Um, but just stylistically, like I wouldn't be surprised. Like I know Schwei is going to be motivated. You know, she played pretty well in that last match against Pliskova. Go back and see really quickly here if she covered that spread. No, she did not. This one's tough for me because generally I would probably play Zhang to win the first set because I know that she generally plays really well against players from Japan. I believe she's won the first set. Right. Sorry, if I'm looking up, it's because I'm looking at my notes. But she's won the first set in her last 9 WTA matches against opponents from Japan. Seems like a random stat, but you know, sometimes styles make fights, and I think this could be one of those. It's another one of those that I don't necessarily feel comfortable uh, putting my money on, but I would probably say that Shuai Zhang is able to steal a set, but I would add Hantama into a money line parlay. No, if you were going to do that, but you know, where's me loaded because I know Zhang's a good player, and if my serves like she did in the third set yesterday against Claire Liu, then she might be in danger. So, that's someone I would keep an eye on for sure. Just never really know what's gonna happen. WTA is not for the weak-hearted. So, anyways, enough of that. I'm gonna go on to the next match. See what we got here left. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. We have 9 matches left. I don't think I counted right when I started when I said there were 12 matches. I think there's 16 probably. Anyways, next match up here we have Bernarda Pera. She's taking on Daria Seville from Australia. Um, Pera, obviously the American. I mean, technically she's like Croatian, but who's keeping track? But she is taking on Daria Seville, who's from Australia. Daria has been going nuts since she came back from her ACL injury. To me, this out of all the matches that I've gone through so far, this is probably the one where I'm most confident in an over because I don't trust, excuse me, either of these women to win this match in straight sets. This is a match where I could see numerous breaks. Just like I wouldn't pick a winner in this match. I would just go over 21. And you know what? I think that's what I'm going to write here on my short list. Over 21. Um, it kind of concerns me that Paris is a favorite, being, albeit she's a slight favorite, 1.8. She's about what? Let's pick them -110, -125. So she is. Last time they played French Open a few years ago, and this court is pretty much clay in my opinion, unless I see differently tomorrow when I watch. I just think these are clay courts, so it's just tough here because Para loves playing these epic three setters, but at some point you're gonna have to win your matches in straight sets. And when she was playing pretty well, that's when she was winning in straight sets. She's traveled the long road to get here. She was struggling against McNeil 2 days ago in qualifiers. Matter of fact, she had to save a match point, I believe, just to win the match. So it's really tough to trust her with your money, obviously. And Seville, the one thing I love about Daria is that she's just a scrapper. You know, that's why I don't think either of them are going to win this in straight sets. It's just she's just a scrapper. She bounced back. She lost qualifiers in Huahan, Abu Dhabi, and then came to the U.S., came to San Diego. She was like, "No, I'm a dog." Beat Zhu qualifiers, beat Marie in qualifiers. You know, made her third quarterfinal since coming back from her ACL injury last year. Thing about Daria, she's played at Indian Wells 6 different times. She's won at least her first round match in 5 of those 6 matches. Actually, as a matter of fact, a couple years ago when she was a qualifier, she beat top seeds like she beat Ons and Elise Mertens. So she's capability to win these big matches. Like I said earlier, the last time they played, she won in 3 sets at the French Open. But that was about 4 years ago. She had to come back that was 6 years ago. She had to come back down in the first set to do all that. This is tough because Para has won 10 matches this year. 9 of them have been in qualifiers. So this tells me that Para is going to win this match. But again, it goes against my system, which is not fading players when they're playing in their home country. I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of watching today and not a lot of wagering just because a lot of these things are clashing in my systems. First round, need to see motivation, need to see form, need to see how comfortable they feel with the courts. Because I've noticed a few players, not necessarily, I don't want to say they don't like the courts, but struggling with the surface as far as speed and things of that nature. And because the courts are so slow, I think that might give Para an advantage, but I just feel like Seville is just such a scrapper. And Para is someone who, I don't know what we're gonna get from her, but I will make a note and say that she 9 of her 10 matches this year all come in qualifiers, so that leans me towards Seville, but no wager for me because Seville because Para is playing at home, and I don't think that I can make that fade. So I'm gonna move on to the next match. Next match, Camilla Giorgi. She's going to be taking on Katie Bolter, who's coming fresh off her. She's coming out fresh off her San Diego 500 title. She was going nuts. I think she won as a dog in 1, 2, 3, 4 of her 5 matches, going insane. In the second set is when she really turned it on. Camilla, on the other hand, I have not seen her since Linz. She lost to Claire Towson, which was kind of a spot for Towson because she lost. Towson lost to Georgie last year in Linz, and that Towson was in form, so that was kind of a fixed win, in my opinion, for her. This is going to be Georgie's 3rd match this year. 5th match this year. She's 0-4 so far this season. First round losses or second round loss to Ostapenko, who ended up winning Brisbane, so not a bad loss. Loss to Claire Liu in qualifiers was a bit concerning. That line is short, and loss to Azarenka first round is not a bad loss. And we just talked about the Claire Towson spot. So this line again here, another 1.3, 3.1 line. Don't necessarily love these lines. Pretty much says that there's room for the person you're backing to win the match, but also for them to drop a set. And generally, the way that I look at these things is that you either win in straight sets or you're going to lose. But just because of qualifiers and just what I've been looking at, the courts are just so slow. Like the courts are so slow. So I just think there are going to be a lot of overs in the first round. And I think Katie is someone good to have in a money line parlay if you were going to put one together. Again, here, I would go with the over 20.5 here. Just a lean for me. I'd be the way I go. I'd probably go over 21 or nothing just because, well, I mean, we haven't seen Camilla play in like 6 weeks. So, like, she didn't seem injured at the end of the Tossin match to me. So I don't know if she was just taking a break or what's going on in her camp. But Katie Bolter's coming off a tournament. Another one of my systems is I don't like backing players in their first match after winning a title. Obviously, this is a 1,000 tournament, so there will be a motivation. There will be motivation level, but generally, players off the title, you're going to celebrate. Sure, title was on what Sunday. She's playing on Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. San Diego to Indian Wells, what? So I bet 4 hour drive. So it's not like a normal tournament where you win a title in the UK and then you gotta fly to Romania after or something like that. So yeah, I think this, if you want to load something chalky, probably Katie Bolter, moneyline parlay, call it a day. But you know, Camilla has not had a win to start the season, so she's going to be extremely motivated. So not necessarily something that I would want to be wagering on, just because breaks my system. And two, don't like bait or wagering against motivated players. Because I mean, you haven't won a match yet this year. WTA 1000, or a better place to get a match. As far as Camilla, you know, she has lost. She's been in Indian Wells 3 times. She's lost in the first round 2 out of the 3 times. So maybe she doesn't necessarily love it. I know she loves playing in Toronto. So this could be her tune-up tournament for that. Katie Bolter, she came back to being German number one or British number one. She's 10-2 this year. I don't see any reason to fade her. She's been on fire, and with the courts being slower, Camilla's speed advantage Camilla doesn't necessarily have the speed advantage that she normally would have. So probably Lee and Katie Bolter moneyline parlay. Wouldn't be surprised if she dropped a set though. So gonna move on to the next match. Let's see here. Next up we have Kessler McCarthy taking on Perez Diaz Nuria. Kessler has been going nuts this year. Like she's 8-3 this year. Um, won a final in Rome. Second round loss in Moscova, pushed her to the brink at the Australian Open. She's just coming off a title in Puerto Vallarta where she beat Tyler Preston. I think this is a very interesting matchup because I personally think that NPD struggles against younger players. And she's getting a little bit older, and I just think that she's going to be at a speed disadvantage. Again, this is one of my systems, so one where I will actually not be wagering on, but because Kessler is coming off a title, so if I was going to play this, it would have to be the over, just because I mean, looking at her matches, at Kessler's matches this year, She's played in 11 matches this year. Every single match she's played in has gone over except one, two, three, four. So 7-4 to the over in her matches this year, and 4 of those were all in Puerto Vallarta. All the other tournaments, they've all gone over. Um, I would lean the over just because Nuria, she again don't like um, fading players who play through qualifiers, especially when
4 o'clock.
someone's coming off a title. They haven't necessarily had been able to be on the surface as much as they would like versus someone who already has two, you know, 2 matches under this court under their belt. Um, so the line's a little short. Could see her dropping a set. I would lean the over 20. Um, so, but generally, I would say NPD should win in this spot. She's older. She's the dog. She has a. She's played on the surface, but she's just such an erratic player, and I just don't know when she's going to play well. In all 3 of her appearances, she's lost here. Up. She lost in the first round her first 2 times, and then last year she made it to the second round, lost to Bedosa. But she's just not necessarily someone that I would want to trust with my money. With that being said, though, she is 73 this year, so for what it's worth, she got a title in Canberra, ITF title, but most of her wins have come through qualifiers, and yeah, I just don't really trust her. I I would if I had to pick, I'd probably go McCarthy just because she'll be more rested. If it goes 3 sets, she'll get the W just because NPD will make too many mistakes, in my opinion. But she's the older player. Maybe she'll finally play like it tomorrow. So we'll see. Next matchup, we have Tamara Korpach, the German. She's taking on Yulia Putintseva. Um, Tamara's 28. I don't think she's not playing doubles in this tournament. This is her first time in Indian Wells. Yulia, her 3rd time around. 2021, she made it to the 3rd round. In 2022, she made it to the 2nd round, and last year she lost in the 1st round. So she's definitely regressing as far as her progress here. So this one's tough. So both of these players, did not play through qualifiers. Korpach has not played since she lost Avanesian in Linz in indoors, and then Putintseva lost last. We saw her last when she lost to Magdalena Freck in Dubai. So that was an insane match, first of all. So I would have taken like 2 weeks off after that match for sure. Like I felt like 2 weeks came off my life watching it. Imagine playing it. So the line I feel is a little wide. I think this one for sure is probably a good. I mean, Poots, she her matches just go over just because she's so hot and cold, up and down. And just solely for the fact that neither of them, I mean, I'm sure they've had practice time on the courts, but just as far as like actual match time, since they both haven't played in almost a month, I really like the over here. I also do kind of like Corpatch plus 4.5. Poots is not necessarily, unless Corpatch is hurt, she hasn't played since indoor. I don't like, I don't understand why the line is so wide. 4.5 seems like a good amount of points. I'm gonna go ahead and write that on my short list. So I'd probably lean Korpach 4.5. Wouldn't be surprised what she's plus 185 on the money line. Line's a little bit short. Wouldn't be surprised if she won. Uh, Poots isn't. She's just not necessarily somebody that. If you're gonna bet her matches, you should just take the over. Because when it gets to the third set, you won't have anything to worry about. You can just enjoy the match because it will not be smooth sailing. That I can guarantee. No guarantees in life, but that's guaranteed. Anyways, next match: Caroline Wozniacki, Lin Zhu. It's a very interesting match for so many reasons. At least for me personally, I just think that this is why it's important for you to respect people. Caroline Wozniacki made these statements about the current tour of the WTA, current state of the WTA tour. Uh, and since her comeback, she's not necessarily been doing so well. So, lost to Mueva, second round, US Open or Australian Open, and then just recently lost to Blinkova in San Diego. Not necessarily, I mean, she got a wild card in there, so could have just been a tune up, you know. She came in, say what's up, get some hitting done. Chill in San Diego, drive 4 hours, Indian Wells, more ranking points, etc. Zoo, on the other hand, it's just it's a tough match. Last time they played, 9 years ago, so can't really take much from that. Uh, I just think Caroline's a better player. Like if she doesn't gas, yeah, if she doesn't gas, like she's the better player. My issue with Zoo is that she has a tendency to not finish her matches, and that's kind of cost her in the last few. Rybaki in a match, she was playing pretty well, and then she just kind of fell apart in that match. Or I'm sorry, no, she didn't have a chance in that match. 'Cause, Elena smoked her there. I was referring to the Potapova match where she actually served for the match twice and lost that match. Same in Seville. She was playing much better in that match, and for some reason, it just fell apart at the end. And I can't really say why. Uh, I think Caroline's gonna bounce back. Sure, she's hearing all the rumbles. This is someone she's beat before. Obviously, you're not the same person that you were then than you are now. But I, I mean, they're only 3 years apart, so it's not like you know Zoo's like 21 and she's like 35. So Zoo, she's only been here three times before. She lost in the first round 2 out of 3 times, and you know, last time she made it past that, her one time past the second round, she beat Sarah Irani. So to me, that's not an impressive win. I think Caroline Wozniacki is a better player. So I mean, she's played in this tournament 12 times. She's not lost in the first round a single time. She's won it once, lost in the final twice, made to round of 16 6 times. I think that's going to be my best bet today, actually. Caroline Wozniacki, money line. I believe it is minus 110. Could be a trap. Especially just because, Waz is 1-3 this year. Zoo's 8-7. So, it's not like I just based on seeing their form, I know Zoo's gonna definitely absolutely be more motivated, especially how that last match ended. But in the end, I think Caroline's gonna be the better player. She's better quality. Not really sure. I just have to assume that she came to San Diego to get her hitting in because there really should be no explanation as to why, or there should be no reason as to why she lost to Blinkova. I mean, I know Blinkova's been playing a lot better lately, but to me, I don't. Um, that's just not a good. That's just not a good loss on your record. Like, there's some matches I see and I'm like, oh, okay, situational spots, etc. Can see why you lost, but in my opinion, that match not a good match to lose, or not a good L to have on your record. Anyways, next match, Danielle Collins. She's taking on qualifier Erica Andreeva. This is going to be a fuck. This is going to be a hell of a match. Um, a style clash for sure. Obviously, Danielle, big power hitter, line short, you know, and this is like Danielle's not. The only reason I would be apprehensive about this match is because I know, because I watched her play Wang in Austin, what, 4 days ago, that she hurt her neck. She retired from that match because she actually hurt her neck the match before that. And I was kind of surprised she played Wang in the first place, but she hurt her neck. Erica Andreeva, like she has 2 matches here under her belt already, so she's ready to go. Last year she lost in qualies, and Danielle lost in the first round here last year as a huge favorite. She lost to Dama Galfi, still remember. Um, so this is a little bit of a tough match just because, well, if she's fully healthy, I fully expect Danielle to beat Erica Andreeva on hard court. Just not necessarily sure if she's 100%. So it's just one of those where, for me, just going to have to be a pass just because I'm not necessarily sure about the health level of the player. And honestly, if I was going to make play on it, I would probably go with Andreeva first set. Andreeva set 1. That's how I'd play it. But it's probably going to be a no play for me. It'd have to be Andreeva or pass just because I know about Collins' health issue, and also just Andreeva has been able to play on the court, so she's going to be a little bit more comfortable with the surface. And like, I just don't know how much hitting time Danielle's done in the past 96 hours. Like she's obviously from the U.S., so flying to Texas, California isn't a big deal. It's just how much rest did you get, how much recovery time did you get, and then how much practice time did you get after that. You know, so I'd be worried about that for Danielle, just because love wine mom, so I want her to do well, but it's just one of those where I would wait and see. Next match, we have Robin Montgomery, Haley Baptiste. Got 2 Black Queens squaring off. Look, man, Robin Montgomery, she's gonna be up next, man. I'm just saying, she has a little bit of Sabalenka in her. She just, like we always said with Saba, she just hones in on her unforced errors. Um, like she'll be good to go. Um, but until she does that, she's not necessarily gonna be um, where we want her to be. And she's taking on Haley Baptiste. Haley Baptiste, first of all, that match she played against Towson, she was up 5-0 or 5-1. And like they had to go play a tiebreaker. Also, like I'm not necessarily I'm not necessarily sure what to make of Claire Towson. Um, like her motivation level, I feel like fluctuates from match to match, and that's just really confusing for me. Like she has the power, like she's the tools. She just, I don't know. I don't know. Hope she gets, if she needs help, I hope she gets the help that she needs. But anyways, back to the match. We got Robin Montgomery. She's taking out Haley Baptiste, 2 Americans. One's 19, the other one's 22. Looks like Baptiste is playing doubles with Clervy, which is pretty cool. And then that's pretty cool. But Haley Baptiste, 13-5 this season. Robin Montgomery, 5-1. Haley Baptiste actually leads their head-to-head 2-0. They played earlier, really just recently, 2 weeks ago in Puerto Vallarta. I would take the over for sure in this match just because well, they just played it recently. Robin Montgomery has been scorching hot. Like she's been tearing the ball up. And with how lackadaisical I feel like Haley is sometimes, it's just tough. Definitely gonna have to add the over. What does that say? Over 21. Over 21. Haley Baptiste, Bob Montgomery. I mean, that again, this is one of those lefty righty matchups where the lefty's a dog and generally in those spots. I like backing the um I like backing the lefty to at least win a set. Because generally, like I was explaining earlier, those lefty righty matchups, lefty forehand, I'm hitting to your backhand if you're right handed. And if you don't have a strong backhand, which I'm still on the fence about with Haley, then I'm not necessarily sure how those rallies are going to go. And I also think that Robin is more fit than Haley is. Obviously, Haley's a little bit older, more experienced, but if she lost this match, I would not be surprised. By Deline, I'd probably go. I'd probably just go with the over again, 21. Like, it's just going to be a lot of overs, especially in the first round. Um, More confident about this one just because they had just recently played each other. So, very familiar, obviously, and it was really close last time. So, I think for Robin to have a chance, she's probably going to have to win the first set. Don't think she's going to be able to come back down the set like she did against Storm Hunter today. So, um, and with both of them two times here at Indian Wells, and they've each lost in the first round and or in qualifiers. So this is a huge match for them, also for Black Americans everywhere. So gonna be looking forward to that one. Next, I have here got three matches left. Three matches left. See here, Taylor Townsend. She is taking on Magda Lynette from Poland. This is such an interesting match to me. Taylor Townsend 5-5 this year. Magda Lynette 3-7. This is a pick'em 1.7, 2.0, pretty much minus 120 plus 110 line. I mean, I just have to play the over. This match just screams over because I mean, if Lynette's playing the match, I know it's going over. So, you know, last time these two played, they actually played at Indian Wells over 6 years ago. Excuse me. Um, and Lynette won 6-4, 6-2. Strange times. And now she's coming in. She's just a slight underdog. Thing about this match is that like Taylor Townsend has not been playing well. Um, she just hasn't been playing well. Not necessarily sure what's up with her. She's won what 4 of her last 10 matches. I mean, the wins though, she beat Sasnovich. She beat Tyler Smith in 3 sets. 3 sets against Contreras Gomez when she was injured. Um, I mean, Jovic was probably her best. I mean, Ivan Jovic is a 16-year-old Russian girl. And then, Clairvian yesterday, she lost the first set. So she's been playing a lot of overs. So I think that's where. All right, Townsend. Lean over there, Townsend. Um, Magda Lynette, if she's playing the match, I know it's going over because she or she just lacks the ability to break. So, I mean, I'm looking at her last 10 matches here, over, 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 retired against Wozniacki, over. Okay, 6-4, 6-2, over. So the last 10 matches, 8 of her last 10 matches have gone over the total number. She just really struggles to break. So, in Taylor Town, I don't see Taylor Towns winning this match in straight sets. And I sure as hell don't see Lynette winning it in straight sets. So someone's got to win the match. And if I don't see either of them winning in straight sets, the match has got to go over. Again, we'll see again tomorrow when I come back and do the recaps. Could be wrong, but what I've seen throughout qualifiers is that these courts are extremely slow, and they play like clay courts. So I expect the match to go over the total. It's just a link. Next on the board, we have Nye Hibino. What a nice lady. Her matches will literally give you a heart attack. But Hibino has not been playing poorly recently. I mean, she's won seven of her last 10 matches. Oddly enough, her last loss, she lost to Zhang 2-1, and then she also lost to Lynette. A little bit worried about Hibino, though, because let's see here. 8 of her last 10 matches have gone 3 sets. Venus has not played a tennis match since August, since the U.S. Open last year. So, I mean, Hibino has played through qualifiers. She's never played Venus before. Like, I don't see why she would lose this match. Like, if she loses this match, I would be shocked. So, I mean, naturally, we just have to add Hibino. We're going to go with a chalky, money line parlay. Hibino should not, if she loses this match, I will be shocked. I'm sure the this match is probably going to be on center court, yada, yada, yada. But, like, I just don't see her losing this match, like, in any way. Like, if she loses to Venus after doing all that work through qualifiers, I'll actually be extremely disappointed in her. That's pretty much all I have to say about this match. And also that I think that Venus Williams should retire. Don't like seeing the GOATs go out like this. But she wants to play. It's within her right to play. I think she's probably going to lose in it. I'm just going to have to take the over on this, just solely because, well, 8 of Hibino's last 10 matches. Yeah. 7 of her last 10 matches have gone to 3 sets. Yeah. 7 of her last 10. Have gone to 3 sets. So I'm going to go with that over 19.5. Now, this match should be on center court. Hibino's a respectful player. She just dropped her set to Sue Wei yesterday. So, like, I mean, what are we doing here? So I genuinely would not be shocked if she dropped a set to Venus Williams. Crowd's going to be cheering, all of that. But I don't think it's happening. What does worry me, though, is that she has lost in the first round of qualifiers in every single. Her winning tomorrow would be her first main draw. Indian Wells win in 6 or 5 attempts in her career. So I'm sure she's looking forward to that, especially losing three of those in the first round. Venus, obviously, she has a huge trajectory here, but it's not 1996 anymore. So she did make the semis here in 2018, but it's thing about the old days is those were the old days. So I expect Hibino to win this match if she's being respectful. she'll win in 2-1. She's not being respectful. She'll probably win it in straights, but she's Japanese and they're generally respectful people. So I think that she's going to probably win the match in 3 sets, or I see a 7-5, 6-3 finish. Um, yeah. Anyways, last match on the card, we have Paula Badosa. She's taking on Ashlyn Kruger. What are the odds for this? The odds for this are a pick'em, and I'm gonna take Ashlyn Kruger. I'm gonna take Kruger. On the money line. So last time these two played, they played in Doha. They played about 3 weeks ago. Paula escaped that match. Back to my system. Ashlyn Kruger, she's playing at home in the States. I know the crowd's gonna be screaming her name, cheering her every double fault, every unforced error. It's gonna be the last match of the day too. I'm just saying, Paula, you know, I know she got hurt against Lulu. I watched that match. Like she hurt her back again. She looks good. In the exhibition matches, I watched her play doubles with Stefanos earlier. I'm just, I'm just a little bit worried about Paula because let's see here. She's retired 3 times in her last 10 matches. And in the other 7 matches, 5 of the other 7 matches have gone 3 sets, which tells me you're not necessarily 100%, but you're playing anyways. So you leave room for your opponents to get a W. So this one's a little tough for me. I don't want to make a decision on this one, but I'm going to lean Kruger just because physically, I think she has the physicality to, I don't want to say bully Badosa on the court, but she's not going to make it an easy time for her. And if Paul is going to keep playing hurt, then like these things these are things that she's gonna have to be concerned about. I can't back Paula just because until maybe the second or third round, it's gonna be really difficult for me to not back a player who's an American if they're playing an American. So I think I'm just gonna do a lot of watching, especially today and tomorrow, just to see how everyone's liking these courts and the conditions and wherever everyone's heads at, you know. So pretty much to recap, we went over the, let's see here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 matches. Recap of 16 matches. We are just going to do a mini recap, round them all up. Let's see. Danielle Collins match. I'd probably pick Danielle to win the match, but again, she's coming back from an injury, so not necessarily 100% sure what her level is going to be like. Katie Bolter, I think she should win against Camilla. Camilla hasn't played in about 6 weeks. I'm sorry, 8 weeks. So she needs to be sure that she's healthy and in good form before I'm able to back her. Katie Bolter scares me a little coming off the title, but I feel like she'll be more motivated. I believe ADM is there in Indian Wells with her, so she'll be good. Haley Baptiste, Robin Montgomery just played recently. Should be a very close match. Would not be surprised if Robin Montgomery won, but if Haley won again in 3 sets, that also would not surprise me. Poots, I mean, she should win this match, but she's just one of a kind. So you just never know where you're gonna get with her, and I just can't put my money on it. But I will have a great time watching her match though. Petra, again, she should beat Kerber. I mean, she leads the head-to-head, but her form's a little bit iffy and struggles against lefties, and I think Kerber can hit through her. Just really depends on what the conditions like are going to be like. I'm not sure if it's going to be windy or not, and also it's going to be an early match. Now, Venus Habino, I think the over 19.5 is the best play. Habino grinded through qualifiers, but 7 of her last 10 matches have gone 3 sets. Venus might have not played a match since August of last year, but if 7 of your last 10 matches have gone 3 sets, especially seeing the level of competition that you've been playing, then I'd be a little bit concerned about that. But I don't think that Venus should win this match. I will be shocked if Venus wins this match. Next, Zhu Wozniacki. It's gonna be a really close match. It's gonna be AIDS gross match. Just to like watch. Sure, there'll be numerous breaks. I just think Caroline's a better player, and I hope that she's not playing like last match of the day again because I think that also affected her last time. So, but we will see. Not necessarily sold on Katie volley nuts yet, but Mira, you know, 0-4 so far this year. Have not played since Dubai. Not necessarily sure what form she's in, but I think she's a better player than Katie volley nuts, and she should end up winning the match. At the end of the day, Paula Badosa. On a normal day, if Paula was healthy, I probably would pick her to win this match. But because I don't know how healthy she is, sure she could play, you know, couples doubles, but like how are you well you're gonna be able to play in your singles match. And in those doubles match in that double match exhibition, sure, that I watch. And Stefanos was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but that's neither here nor there. Next match, Marie. She's taking on SST. I think Marie's just going to be super motivated for this match. Formo makes too many errors. She's coming off a thumb injury. Don't really love that. Saw how Bia Haddad Maya played in her last 2 matches coming off a thumb injury. Um, so would be a little bit concerned about that. Taylor Townsend, Magda Lynette. I literally cannot put my money on Magda Lynette. It will not happen. And Taylor Townsend has just been a little bit too erratic for me to back her. I think the over probably be the best play there. In the Maria Roos match, to me, that match is honestly a pure even 50-50 match. The courts are slow, so Maria is going to slice her to death. But I think that Roos has more power than the last 2 people Maria played. I think she has the power to hit through those slices, but with that, she's going to hit a lot of unforced errors. And that is what I'm concerned about. Moving on, you found Wang. I just don't see Wang losing this match. I see her bouncing back. As a matter of fact, we're going to add her to the chalky MLP. Next, McCarthy Kessler, NPD, similar to the Townsend description. Just can't. I can't do it. Like, should be a spot for NPD. You come in as a qualifier, familiar with the surface. I don't even want to say you played well during qualifiers, but you won both your qualifier matches. Kessler coming in from a title could be less motivated, but also could be hungrier. I know after winning that first title, so you could taste what winning feels like. Why would you want to stop winning? Uh, Next, Mai Hantama. I think honestly, Zhang is a better player. I, like she's literally the better player. So now that I'm looking at it, can't add Mai in that MLP, but I can't back Zhang either. I think Zhang is a better player, but I would not wager on that just because you played one match in the past 6 months. Don't really know what your cardio is like. If you're going to make it, could play well first set and then fade after. So concerns me. Supera, this one's tough. See, now that I'm going through these again, you know, this is why I'm glad I did this live because then you really get take a chance to like go back through multiple times and think about it. I think that those are all the matches for today. But yeah, this is a WTA only video, not only channel, because we will tap into other sports, but mostly focusing on tennis right now in only WTA. Can only spread my wings so far, but I think that based off of everything that I've talked about today, I'm gonna see what this little gross chalky money line parlay would be. Let's see here. First one was Marie Buskova. And then after that, let's see here. It says Naomi is playing today, but I don't see that on the draw. I'm gonna go her. What I don't like is both the line for her and Wang are short. It's generally not a good omen. But we're gonna go Marie Buskova, Wang, Rubino, Bolter, Bolter, Bolter. Yeah. See, Habino's closing minus 500. I mean, if you parlay those four, not take out Habino, it's a little bit too chalky. But those three plus 200, Marie Buskova, Yafan Wang, and Katie Bolter. Write that down. Marie Wang Bolter. Now, could make a different one. Just go Marie. You also go like Bolter, Kessler, two-legger plus 100, and then make a two-legger with Camilla plus a half sets and NPD plus a half sets because they're both their opponents coming off not playing on service against two qualifiers. So that could be a look. But best bet for me, Caroline Wozniacki money line, and I'm gonna go with three today. I'm gonna go Caroline Wozniacki money line, Bernarda Pera money line, and then I'm gonna go with Ashlyn Kruger money line. I think if she's gonna win, it's gotta be today. She almost took that match from her in Doha, and she let her steal it. And I just don't think that she's gonna do that today. I think she's been playing really well. She's been very much in form, and I'm excited. I'm just really excited for a full week, 2 weeks, however long we get of North American tennis. I'm really excited to see what everyone has been working on over the past few weeks, and yeah, just for tennis in the U.S. to get more notoriety, and also for women also to get more exposure. Because personally, I think that the WTA is a better product than ATP. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but we can have that argument another time. But thank you for everyone who took the time to watch this entire video, and I will leave timestamps after. And for people who have short attention spans, don't worry, because the great thing about tennis is that every day, or except tomorrow, because I'll be doing the second half of the bracket, but every day the videos will get shorter because half the field will be gone. So, first video, about an hour and a half, but tomorrow, it's probably be around there too, but after then, videos will get shorter and more concise because there'll be less players. And yeah, we'll be able to go from there. I'm going to try and do a recap after the matches are done tonight because I'm recording this in the morning. And hopefully, you guys like the information I gave out. If you guys have any suggestions or have any other things you'd like me to add to my research process, please feel free to leave comments. You can write me an email. You can message me on Twitter. All good with me. Just make sure to please, I hate being one of those people, but trying to get to 100 subs. Right now, I think I'm at 10 subs. Neglected the channel for a couple of years, but I'm coming back strong. This should be a great week to revive the channel, and also just to give people what they want, a little bit of info about WTA, best league. But thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you liked the content that I put out. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.